Oh, hello. I'm Katherine Youngblood Glass, and I'm running for Texas Governor on the Libertarian Party ticket. I assume that by now you've looked at my website and you know who I am, why I'm running, and my position on the issues. I also assume that you must pretty much like what you've been reading, or you wouldn't still be interested. I'm thinking that at this point, another question you might have about me is, well, why Libertarian? Why should we vote for a Libertarian? Some people might say that a lot of the things I say, a lot of the things Libertarians say, sound like what Republicans say. And that's true, but that's as far as it goes, that it sounds a lot alike. I want to talk to you about why, if you believe in liberty and you've been voting Republican because you think that's a way to achieve liberty, that you should reconsider that and this time try voting Libertarian. I was reading in one of my favorite books, The Law by Friedrich Bastiat. He was a 19th century economist and philosopher. He talks about the three types of plunder. One is when the few plunder the many. That's what he calls limited plunder. Second is when everybody plunders everybody. That's called universal plunder. And the third is when no one plunders anybody. And that's the libertarian principle. Libertarians believe in the principle of non-aggression, and that means that each individual has the right to live his life the way he or she chooses, provided that he does not interfere with the same rights that every other individual has. It's really basically very simple. Sounds a lot like the golden rule, doesn't it? Well, Republicans might say things like that, but experience has shown us that they don't truly believe in it. They certainly don't act on it. The things that are going on in Washington today have alarmed a lot of us. And I'm not just talking about Obamacare, although that's probably the worst of it. And I'm not just talking about President Obama, because he's not the only one doing this. The things that have been done are very serious, but some people try to take comfort in the fact that, well, the pendulum swings back and forth and the Republicans are likely to regain control of Congress in the November 2010 election. Okay, that may be true, but so what? Experience shows us that the Republicans, when they get back in office after one of these swings, they don't do anything to change the tide of government control over our lives. Whether the Republicans are in office or the Democrats are in office, back and forth and back and forth. One thing that never changes is the governmental control over our lives. It always increases and it never goes back. In my lifetime, I've seen this shift 3 or 4 times, and each time there's a lot of hope for change, that the Republicans will get in there and change things on a fundamental basis, but they never do. And with respect to Obamacare, the Republicans have told us flat out that they will not repeal Obamacare. Senator John Cornyn has told us that. Many congressmen have told us that. Here in Houston, Ted Poe, Kevin Brady, Pete Olson, at a recent meeting with their constituents or Tea Party goers, have said they will not repeal the bill. They will at most tinker with it, maybe try to fix some of the worst aspects of it, but they are not going to repeal it. Now, the Libertarian opponents of each of those congressmen, David Smith, Steve Sussman, and Bruce West, have each said, that's wrong, that's a wrong approach. This is an unconstitutional act and it must be repealed in total. So there, right there is a major difference, a practical difference that you can point to for why you should vote Libertarian and not Republican. Because even if the Republicans get a veto-proof majority, they really don't truly believe in the things they say they believe in, certainly not the things we as libertarians believe in. They don't have the will to do what it takes to stand up against this monumental invasion of our state and individual sovereignty as represented by Obamacare. They don't really believe in the Constitution, lower taxes, lower spending, less federal regulation, state sovereignty, individual sovereignty, and that is demonstrated by that one position that they will not repeal Obamacare. And that's why I'm running for governor. You might say, well, that's at the federal level. What is you as governor of Texas would do about it? I'm running for governor because I think this is where we need to fight these federal invasions of our liberties. We need to take a stand here, and the governor of the state of Texas, as governor of the state of Texas, I hope to lead that fight. They say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what? You'll get what you've always got. If you keep voting for Republicans, hoping that they will change, like in some kind of abusive relationship where it says, oh, I've learned my lesson, I'll never do that again, I promise, I promise, I promise, and after the 4th or 5th or 6th time, you know it's not going to change, and you're going to continue to get the same bad results and the same loss of freedoms that you've always gotten. We don't have the luxury, if ever we did, of waiting and seeing if the Republicans have learned their lesson finally. We have to take action. We have to stand strong here in Texas, defend our liberties here, fight against the federal government's invasion of our freedoms. We have to do it now. We don't have an alternative, and we don't have an awful lot of time. I hope to have a series of these, what I call my Deskside chats. I hope you go to the website and give me some suggestions for what topics you might like to see covered in upcoming chats. The next one, I think, is going to be on nullification. I've been reading and studying about nullification and interposition because I think that is the key to reclaiming our liberties and effectively fighting against the federal government's attempts to take away our freedoms. So, thank you very much, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. I hope to have your support and your vote in my race for governor of the great state of Texas.